Alright, hello people, I'm the Dude, and this is my review rant for the Newsroom, the HBO series. HBO is it's been consistently good lately. I mean, they've been hitting it out of the park, honestly. At least 50% of their series that they've made to date are really, really good, which is a really high percentage. But yeah, Newsroom, I didn't really hold out much hope for until I started watching it, and it's not really about the news. It's called The Newsroom, but it should have been called The People Who Work in a Newsroom, because that's what it's about. It's about, Will and Jim and Maggie and Mac and Charlie and Don and Sloan and all them, all the people you see here. It's not about the news. Maybe 20% of the episode is directly about the news. They're actually, commenting about the news or on TV, giving a report about the news or something like that. The rest of the episode is about them, how they're reacting to each other and who's pissed off at who and who's doing what to, who and what, that kind of thing. It's, it's a drama. It's like daytime drama, but it's for HBO and it's called The Newsroom. Probably the best segments of the series for season one were Maggie and Jim and their thing that they had and how that ended with, Jim going off onto the campaign trail, and more importantly, Maggie going to Africa. That was really good. What happened to her in Africa and her coming back and how she reacted, and really, really good drama. Will and Mac from the very beginning, their thing, how they're, he can't forgive her, and all she wants is forgiveness, and how that ended in the finale, I didn't quite buy. It seemed like they didn't work for that. The finale was just kind of its own thing, where he just up and forgives her because of one thing. It's like he has a revelation, and he's just like, oh, I've got to marry, Mac. It didn't make much sense. But, their whole relationship up until the finale was really good. I'm not saying that they should have hated each other forever, but I'm saying they should have worked for that resolution, and they really didn't at all. Dawn and Sloan, that's another one where where the hell did that come from? I mean, yeah, Sloane had a thing for him, which again kind of came out of nowhere. In the episodes before she admitted having a thing for him, there was no attraction at all. Nothing. There's no inkling at all that was there. And then out of nowhere, she likes him, and then a few episodes later, there's this thing going on, kind of. But yeah, it really didn't make any sense. And the last episode, she finds out he's the one that bought the book and was like for $1,000 or something. He bid against himself to buy the book, I guess to make her look good. I don't know. I don't know how that was, what the thought process was in his brain, but it worked, I guess, whatever. The whole Genoa thing, where it almost ruins the Newsroom, although you kind of know it's not going to. You knew they weren't going to resign. They're like, oh, we got to resign, because if we don't resign, then we'll bring the whole Newsroom down with us. We have no credibility and blah, blah. You knew they weren't going to resign. It was obvious. They're the show. I mean, there was no way they were going anywhere, but it was still, it was okay. And the way that ended, where they're like, we have to resign, blah, blah. Oh, let's not resign because we've created the best newsroom ever, and we've worked for this, and we've got to continue it. And then the Lansings, Leona and Reese, they want to take the high road, out of nowhere, again. What the hell? Why? She's just, one episode, she's just like, no, I'm not going to let you resign. She goes from hating them and wanting them to leave and doing everything in her power to get rid of them, and then out of nowhere, she's like, no, we can't, you can't resign. We have to stay together and, fight through this and all this crap. Well, why? I mean, they were handing her everything she ever wanted. It doesn't make any sense, but it ended up being good in the finale because even Reese came around and Reese was fighting for them to stay. But they'd already decided they were going to stay at that point, so I guess it was kind of moot. But yeah, I mean, it's all like everything Neil, anything to do with Neil, although he really needs his own thing. Every time he's a part of something, it's always someone else's thing, it's someone else's problem. And he's like the catalyst for the resolution, but it's not his resolution. It's not about him. He needs something that's like completely about him. He needs his own little mini story arc, storyline, whatever you want to call it. He's always there to help other people with their storyline. So yeah, he needs his own thing. 'Cause he's a good character. Uh, he's very empathetic, and he's like the problem solver. I don't I don't know what his purpose is in the newsroom. I mean, he runs the blog. He doesn't need to be in the newsroom to run the blog. I mean, he's not like some vital part of the team. Why why is he even there? You know, I mean, he needs like a more defined job or role or something. It literally does not make any sense that he's in on anything. I mean, everything. Like every decision, every like meeting, he's always there, but all he does is run the blog. It doesn't make any sense, but you know, like I said, I still like his character. Jim's character is great. From the very beginning, he's been my favorite character in the series by far. It seems like all the important things, all the best scenes, all the best interactions, Jim's always there, and he's always got something, you know, relevant to say, something that needed to be said. Especially with the Jerry Dantana thing, the starting of Genoa, they should have just listened to Jim, you know. But him and Maggie ended up sending him on the campaign trail or whatever, so he got back late. But he was there. He was there when the decision was made for Genoa. You know, when they were doing the Red Hat meetings or whatever. He was back by then. And he was saying, no, this is a bad idea. No, let's not do this. You know, no, this, we need more time. We need more confirmation. You know, all this stuff. And they just kept pressing and kept pressing. They should have listened to Jim. I was like, listen to Jim, you idiots. And of course they didn't. And it backfired crazy hard. But yeah, that was a great storyline. All the early stuff when they're getting to know each other, when Jim just first shows up and no one knows him, really good. When he first meets Maggie and their whole thing, when that starts, even though she's still with Dawn, that was really good. When Mac first shows up with Jim at the very beginning and Will's going over what happened to them in the past and they're having their whole back and forth, that was really good. You notice I haven't said anything about the news. Because like the whole last third of the series, well not last third, last fourth. I mean, why did I say series? Last fourth of the season. It's all about the elections, Romney and Obama and all that crap. It's there, but it doesn't matter. You know, it's not what the season is about. What the show is about. You know, I mean, even though that takes up a decent chunk of every episode, it's just kind of in the background. It's something that they can talk about in between, well, what's going on with Will and Mac. You know what I mean? Like, it's fluff. It's filler. I mean, even though, like I said, even though it's called the Newsroom, it's about the news crew. It's not about the news. So, I don't know. I really, really liked it. I want a season 2. I want to see what happens with Jim. There's no way he's going to stay with this Haley chick because not only is she not in the same city, the only time you see her is when he's talking to her on Skype or whatever, but she's not important to the story at this point. I mean, not at all. She's not tied into any of the story or any of the characters other than Jim or anything. She's just kind of there. So I think they're going to dump her at some point. I don't know if he'll get back with Maggie or Lisa or someone new or whatever, but I don't think Haley's going to last. They'd have to bring her to the city so she can be a part of, you know, the everyday interactions. I don't know, maybe they'll do that. Maggie, I want to see what happens to her. She finally kind of gets some resolution to the Africa storyline thing here in the finale, although it's not. Everyone else kind of has a happy ending except for her. I mean, Genoa still happened, and they still made the mistake and all that, but they all decide they're not going to resign, and, you know, the right thing to do is to continue to make, you know, the news and do a great job and all that stuff. So they kind of have the overarching theme has a happy ending. Will and Matt get together. Dunn and Sloan are together. Hell, even, like, Will, Charlie, and the Lansings are kind of not at each other's throats anymore. Really, no one is against each other at the end. Everyone is happy-go-lucky, hunky-dory, except for Maggie. Maggie's still not right. You know, she's still not where she needs to be. She's better because of her, again, Jim. Because, you know, Jim, he's in everything. You know, everything that's important that happens in the series, it's Jim. But yeah, Jim goes and talks to Maggie and kind of helps her work it out a bit, what happened and how it's not her fault and all that. But she's still not perfect. She's just better. And then she finally goes and talks to Lisa and tells her about what happened in Africa. Uganda or whatever. But yeah. I think she's the only one who didn't get a happy ending for this season. think everyone else was pretty tops at the end. But that's fine. I don't know where they'll pick up on season 2. Maybe they'll just start off with random news again and then build up a storyline, because at this point, like I said, everything is, tied up with a neat little bow. There's no cliffhanger here. There's nothing there's nothing to look forward to. There's no more conflict to resolve. It's all been resolved. So they're gonna have to have one hell of a pilot for season 2 if they make season 2. So, but yeah, really good stuff. Highly recommend the Newsroom. I enjoyed it quite a bit. More than I thought I would, honestly. Way more than I thought I would. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. I'll see you guys next time.